people upload photos online, can people actually use it for free? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. And sometimes photographers actually give away the rights for free without even realising it. So today we're going to go over, in simple terms, the Creative Commons license. Greetings all. Yep, and today we are still going on sort of a, I'm going to say legal routes or legal things in a way, obviously without getting too technical, but some simple guides. So obviously we've done a little bit about photography laws, and we've done a little bit about copyright, but I've had got a few people actually lately asking about Creative Commons licensing and what it's all about. So I thought today I'll do just that. Now you've probably seen those little symbols online, maybe on Flickr, on Wikipedia, and on websites that offer free images. But what do they actually mean? Can people use your images? Can they edit them? Can they make money from them? And if you or use someone else's images, what rules apply? And this is because people see this free to use, and all hell breaks loose because they actually misunderstand what that actually means, and all their common sense disappears. First things first, Creative Commons does not replace copyright, and that's probably the biggest misunderstanding. So the moment that you, as a photographer, take a photo, you own the copyright. You do not need to register it, you do not need to put a watermark on it, you do not need to upload it anywhere special to say that it's yours. You own it. So Creative Commons is actually just a licensing system. It allows creators like myself, photographers, artists, musicians, writers, to decide how to allow other people to use their work. So instead of saying something like nobody can use it, you simply say you can use it but you need to credit me, or you can use it but not for commercial use, or even you can do what the hell you want with it. So basically then, Creative Commons is a permission system, and honestly it actually works pretty good when used properly. It helps creators share work, it helps to educate, it helps journalism, it helps collaboration. But the problem is many people either misunderstand it or never read what they are in the first place. Don't worry, we're not going into full-scale law lectures or anything here. You don't need to memorise all of these symbols and abbreviations, but there are a few ones that specifically photographers should really understand. Okay, this basically means people can use your image as long as they credit you. Simple, they can often share it, edit it, even use it commercially. But they have to give attribution to you. So if somebody uses your image in, say, a blog post, a video or an article, they should credit you properly. And this one is one of the more open licenses. So this is similar to the CC-BY, but with extra conditions. So if somebody modifies your work, they need to share the version under the same license. So they can't just take your freely distributed image, heavily modify it, and suddenly lock it behind copyright. A good example of using somebody else's images this way is Wikipedia. Okay, this one is pretty similar, but it has some extra conditions. So people can use the image, but not commercially. And this is where confusion starts to happen, because what actually counts as commercial? A business website? Yes. A YouTube channel with monetization? Potentially yes. A company's social media page? Yes. And this is where people actually misuse people's content or images because they automatically assume, well, I'm not a company, so it's fine. Now, this is the really open one. Basically, the creator is saying, I waive all rights to this and you can use it freely. No attributions required, no restrictions. This is why some websites advertise images such as royalty free or public domain style. But even then, always double check the actual source of license, because actually not every website labels their stuff correctly. And yes, there are people who actually upload a lot of images and photos and other media content that they don't actually own. Now this is the actual part where people actually go wrong. Mistake number one, I found it on Google, so it must be free. No, absolutely not. Google is a search engine, not a free image or music library. Because the images appear on a search result does not mean that you have permission to use it. And honestly, this is still one of the most common myths I hear on a regular basis. So mistake number two, not reading the actual license. People see Creative Commons and they automatically assume, oh great, free image. That doesn't matter because it's the details. Some require certain attributions, you know, no commercial use, no modifications, this sort of thing. And if you ignore those terms, then you're actually in breach of copyright. Mistake number three, using images commercially by accident. This happens constantly. Someone uses a Creative Commons image to, say, monetize a YouTube video, a business website, advertising, or in a client project without checking whether commercial use is actually allowed. And suddenly, they've broken the license agreement. And mistake number four, photographers upload work without understanding the platform's terms. That's why a lot of my image doesn't appear on social media. And that's why that my website host is actually, they are designed specifically for photographers. Now this next part is really, really important because a lot of people actually use social media. So using social media doesn't mean you lose copyright. You still own your images, but many platforms require a broad license so that they can display, share and distribute your content. So that's different than Creative Commons license. And it's why actually reading terms and conditions is actually worth doing. Yeah, I don't know, nobody enjoys doing that, do they? Now social media has actually created some very strange myths around photography. You'll sometimes hear things like, oh, it's on Instagram, so it must be public. No, it's not. And this is where people get confused, is just because it's publicly visible doesn't mean it's free for the public to use. Just because it's publicly visible, it doesn't mean it's public ownership. So just because somebody uploads an image online, it doesn't automatically mean that they are free to repost it, print it, sell it, use it in a video, use it for advertising. And this is where photographers, including myself, get really, really frustrated. Easy to access and free to use are literally two different things. Now, of course, there are some photographers who choose to share their work totally free, but that's fine. But this is what Creative Commons licensing was designed for giving the photographers or other artists that choice. Honestly, sometimes yes. It depends on your goals. Creative Commons can actually be pretty good for things like exposure, educational work, portfolio building, community projects, journalism. The list is quite long, really. But I mean, for example, you may want bloggers to share your landscape photography, as long as they credit you. Or maybe you want to contribute images to educational website. That's generally valuable. But if you're shooting client work, commercial work, stock photography, exclusive content, you'll probably want to think carefully before using an open license. Because once permission is granted, it can be difficult to control how images spread. So here's my simple practical advice on this. If you're going to be sharing your images, decide what permissions that you want to allow. whether commercial use is okay, whether edits are okay, whether attribution is required. And make those terms clear. And if you're using somebody else's image, always check the resource, read the exact license conditions, verify attribution requirements, check commercial restrictions. In any doubt, don't use it. Or better yet, contact the creator directly. I mean, most photographers are pretty respectable if you approach them respectfully. So I hope this video has helped simplify the Creative Commons a little bit, because the important thing to remember is copyright protects work. Creative Commons controls how it's used. And if you want to know more about copyright and photography laws, I've done a couple on those as well. But just remember, copyright and licensing are two different things. So if you found this useful, just that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So until the next time, thanks for joining me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one. So take care, stay safe, I'll see you soon.